Hello, this is Nicole Bandis, and this is another episode of Delegate THIS, where we talk about things that you can delegate to get them off your plate, whether it's in your personal life or your professional life. Let's make life a little bit easier. And today, my special guest is Patricia Wangsness, and she is a real estate professional up in the Washington area. And I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about her and her business. Patricia, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's exciting to be here. So I am a real estate professional for about the last 15 years. Also have been an investor for about 20 plus years. So I do both sides of the business. About 30% of my business is serving relocating executives that are moving in here for all those wonderful jobs that we have with all those big companies. The one with the big G and the one with the big A and Starbucks and places like that. So we have a lot of people coming into the Seattle area. We also have people that are moving up, people that have been here a long time, they need to downsize, people that are sort of have their families, they move up to a bigger home. So we have a lot of movement right now in the real estate market. So that's what I do. I drive people around, I help them buy a house, negotiate, and they live happily ever after.
Yeah, and that brings up the very point on why we're on here today, because there are sites out there, I'm not going to name any of those names, but there are sites out there where people can do a lot of their own real estate shopping. Mm-hmm. So why does it make sense for somebody to hire a real estate professional and instead of trying to use one of those other sites out there?
I'm so glad you asked that question. So you wouldn't perform your own surgery, you wouldn't do your own dentistry, you wouldn't do anything that you would hire a professional for. And what people don't realize is information and data is information and data. How to put all of that together to come to the right conclusion is really what's very important. Buying your home is probably one of your biggest assets. And so to do it, which you might do it once every 5 years, once every 10 years. For some sellers, they've been in their homes for 40 years. So things change, rules change. We are considered limited practice attorneys for those contracts. And believe me, there are more things that can go wrong than go right. So negotiating inspections, understanding about schools, understanding about how you can talk to a prospective buyer of your home. There are federal fair housing laws that you need to know. So if you just do it online, it may seem really simple, but you're missing so much of what else you could learn.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, here where we purchased our house in Phoenix, we actually purchased a house out in the country, and it's on a well and a septic, and that brings a whole different set of rules and regulations with it that I may not have known if I hadn't worked with a real estate professional.
Yeah, and it's scary what you could miss.
Oh my gosh, yeah, scary, and it could even be deadly in some cases. I mean, if your septic goes bad and it's putting fumes back into your house, and oh yeah, we could have all kinds of bad issues with that. So what's a mistake that you see people who try and do it themselves make on a regular basis?
Most of them, the biggest thing right now is people look on the internet and they do a price per square foot and they say, oh, this house is overpriced, so I'm going to offer a lower price. Well, that's fine. You have the right to offer any price that you want, but you might miss a great opportunity because somebody else recognizes what the real pricing of a house is, and they'll go and buy that house and then live in it for 5 years, and you're still stuck renting for another year or two.
Yeah.
The other thing is people don't understand when you sell a house, sellers always want a higher price. The market will determine the price. It's not how much you loved your house. That should show in your maintenance. But just because you had certain colors and preferences doesn't mean that that's going to translate to more money for you if it's overly personalized. So buyers want the lowest price and miss out on opportunities. Sellers might price it too high and miss out on some great buyers.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I can absolutely see that happening. So when it comes to, so here's one of the things. Every single time I go to a networking event, I probably get approached by no less than 3 different real estate professionals. And every single one of them says, I work with anybody that buys or sells homes. So as an individual who's out there shopping for a real estate professional, short of just going with my best friend who might sell houses once every 2 or 3 years, how do I know what to look for when I'm delegating the service?
So again, the internet is your friend. Most of the sites will now tell you how much business that real estate professional has done. And I don't concentrate on first-time home buyers, but I have done first-time home buyers through a referral. I work 99% by referral. So the clients that I have, they refer me to their friends and family. The relocating executives that I work with, I will often help them buy a house when they move in, and when they get transferred, I will help them sell that house. So it's great to use your friend, and I've gotten business with friends, and I've also been respectful when they have not used me as a friend. When you use somebody that's too close to you, sometimes people can lose that professional distance because it's still a very important business transaction. There's contracts and laws, and the friendship isn't enough. You don't want to use somebody who's your friend who might learn things about you and that they didn't know and didn't need to know, and it might change the friendship. If you have an expectation of professionalism and that person doesn't fulfill it, that's not a reason. Just because they're your friend doesn't mean that that's who you should do your business with. Now, so I've done business with friends, but as I say, I've also not done business with friends because they decided, one spouse or the other decided they wanted a little bit of distance, and I totally respect that.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I mean, if the friend is somebody who's doing real estate on a regular basis, that's one thing. But a lot of times you might be inclined to go with that friend because they're going to give you the friend discount. But what you're missing out on is that they may only sell a house every couple of years, and so they're really not up to date with I know we're supposed to keep educated and everything like that, but when you're in something all the time, every single day, you stay attuned to what's going on, and you're much more likely to catch things that somebody that only does it once in a while would.
Oh, absolutely. Things, especially the contract requirements, change from time to time. Also, the cost of business and how to access business. When you're a brand new agent, it's quite expensive to be a real estate broker. I mean, we have license fees and we have marketing fees and we have all those things. Well, people get into the business because they're either going to try to sell their own house or they're going to sell their mother's house, and they think, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money. Well, you don't necessarily sell a house, especially in your first 2 years. You might sell 5 houses in 2 years. Now, if I sold 5 houses in 2 years, I'd be out of business. I mean, I do 25 to 30 transactions a year. So, and we do higher end. So you can make really good money. It's hard work because I answer my phone from 6:30 in the morning till 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. And I work 7 days a week. Some days I can do business while I'm sitting on my couch. And some days I have to be out in the car for 8 hours. It's not a one-off kind of deal, because the negotiation is the most important. What to negotiate on, how to negotiate, where you can push, where the finesse comes from. That all takes experience in order to have a really great outcome.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it really prepares us a little bit better for when we are ready to buy or sell our next home, what to know to look for, and kind of make that more informed decision as to whether or not we want to do this ourselves or delegate it out and hire a professional real estate agent or broker and be able to be more informed and get the most out of that opportunity. So, Patricia, if somebody wants to connect with you, if they happen to be up in the Washington area, how can they reach out and connect to you, or maybe just learn more about you?
Well, you can find me. I'm all over the internet as Patricia Wangsness, but we have a great website, Wangsness, WANGSNESS, connections.com. And I'm on Facebook, so both professionally and personally, and so you get to know me, because it's important to get to know your agent and trust your broker. it's a marathon, not a sprint. So there's a duration to that relationship. So get to know who you're going to be working with.
That's so true, because personalities, they matter a lot in this kind of thing. So especially when you're going to be spending hours in the car going around looking at properties.
That and it's a stressful situation, whether you're on the buy side or the sell side. And you've got to have, I do a lot of smoothing of the waters.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Patricia. I appreciate you being on the show today. And for those of you out there that are looking to delegate more of the stuff in your own business, be sure to check us out at virtualateam.com and make it an amazing day.
Thank you.